I really believe it when I say it's something we do in partnership. Because, I look around the room and I read the roster of people that registered, and we've got people from all kinds of backgrounds. And if you'll permit me just 2 minutes here to tell you a quick story. I've got 2 daughters, and they love to bake. At least they think they like to bake. And they asked my wife, can we make brownies? And she said, sure, and she gave them the recipe. And they looked at the individual ingredients, and they were like, this doesn't look like brownies. And my wife said, we got to mix them together. And so they did, but the issue was flour, a little bit of this, but it's fun, so they put a lot. Cracking eggs is cool, so they put 2 instead of 1. And salt looks like sugar, so what's the difference? And they baked it up, and it came out, and it looked gross. And as a dad, my sacred responsibility is to take the first bite. And I was like, how do I get out of this? So I asked them, well, maybe, you take a bite and describe the taste. And they did, and their face described the taste. So seeing the learning opportunity, my wife said, look, why don't we try again? This time, use the recipe and do it exactly as it's called for. And they did, and what they baked up were some delicious brownies. And I was delighted to take the first bite, and the second bite, and the third bite. And what I see is I look around, and I'm sure what we'll see online is, people that come from different backgrounds. Some are policy folks, some are emergency managers, some are elected officials, some are tech providers, and on and on and on. But when we come together and we're unified in this purpose, we bake up something pretty amazing. And for the whole community, and people with access and functional needs, that's what it takes. Because it's you and it's me, it's people we know and love, and it's people that we have stewardship and responsibility for. And if we don't do it, it simply will not happen. So that's the hope, right? I think what we're doing is we're going to provide them with an opportunity, right? And when we lay that out, we look at the technology, and here's the thing, a lot of this exists, right? We open up the paper and we read about, Project Maven or these other initiatives, and the technology is incredible. And it's amazing. I understand it's debatable, but the reality is it either exists or it's on its way. And so we really can repurpose it for these uses. And I think that it's something that they would want to do and be willing to do, and look forward to working through that process with them. So one of the things we wanted to do in California is we wanted to make sure that people knew exactly where to go for those resources. And so we created something called the Access and Functional Needs Web Map. Try to think of a name that rolled off the tongue. It's kind of hard. Webmap.org, I don't know. So if you were to look at the Cal OES website, go to Access and Functional Needs, there's a link for our map. And what we did is we took information from the census and we broke it into every single county. So if you click on a county, it'll say, hey, there's 1 million people here. And of those million, 10% have disability. And of those 10%, 5% are deaf or blind, or list out whatever that is. And what that does, it'll also tell you languages spoken at home, age, ethnicity. It'll tell you all this for that county, which gives emergency managers in that county an idea of, okay, well, let's see, if X% use wheelchairs, then when we evacuate, we're going to need to have some accessible vehicles. If X% are deaf, we're going to need to have ASL integrated within our public messaging. If X% are this, we're going to need the following resource. And then we go one step further, and we outline for every single county in the state where you find interpreters, translators, durable medical equipment, where the independent living centers that serve those communities are, where the regional centers are, and we make it all available right there at their fingertips. And during a blue sky day, when it's steady state, you reach out, you exchange business cards, you get to know them, you partner, you plan. So that when you have a bad day, you literally click and you see the accessible transportation provider and you call the 24-hour number and you make it happen. And it's things like that that allow us, I think, to move forward, right? And that wasn't new technology. That was taking something that already existed, information that was already publicly available, and using it in a more innovative way. So I would encourage anybody that wants to do that, look at the map, and we'll give you the blueprint so you guys can take what we've done and implement it wherever you are. You know, you guys know the story of the little bird, right? Where the knight's riding into town, he sees a little bird flying on its back with its feet up, and the knight says, "Hey, what are you doing? Why aren't you flying around with your friends?" And the bird said, "I heard the sky was going to fall. I'm going to catch it, hold it up." And the knight's like, "Little bird, your legs are weak and feeble and tiny. Surely you couldn't hold up the sky." And the bird stops and thinks, and looks up at the knight and says, "My legs are tiny and feeble and maybe even weak. But we each do what we can." And that's how we get there, right? We each do what we can. So thank you for your point. It is about thriving. It's about dignity. And it's about making sure it's better for everybody.